Hey Cancer, welcome to your love reading. Thank you so much for tuning into Soul Lenders, bringing your beautiful energy, love and support to the channel. If you're new here, pardon me, if you're new here, hello, my name is Andrea. I hope you find something within this reading helpful. So, what's going on in the love lives of the Cancer? What's happening? What brings you here today? Who am I connecting with? How are you feeling about love? Tell me everything. Who am I connecting with today? Right. What have we got for Cancer today? Sorry if that's a bit loud, the shuffling, guys. All right, we've got heaps to work with here today. I feel like things are being uncovered left, right and center for you, Cancer. This is the type of energy that, you know, if things have been quiet when it comes to your love life, or if things have been quiet with a particular person, I feel that there was a word or there was a discussion that took place that basically opened a whole can of worms, and that doesn't need to be in a bad way. It just opened up. It was like a domino effect, a trigger for so many other conversations, created this ripple effect. I feel that you have someone here who's extremely self-sufficient. They know what their worth is. They know what they want. They're very, very in tune with what their needs are and how they want things to be in a relationship. This is a type of person that's trialed and tested love and knows what works well for them and what doesn't work well for them. They're the type that knows what types of personalities they identify with certain personalities that they're attracted to based on certain traits that complement theirs. There is this element of control surrounding this person as well. So I'm feeling like they are emotionally mature. They've been through, you know, heartbreak, let's say. They've seen what hasn't worked, and so they're very well aware of which areas of themselves that don't want to allow to be vulnerable. They're also aware of the types of red flags that people could show that could potentially take them down a path where they could be wasting their time, let's say, in love in a way that they don't want to contribute, right? So they're very firm on how they want their love life to go. And I feel that they're incredibly upfront, authentic and honest about that. And when it comes to you, Cancer, they definitely want a new beginning with you, but they really want some kind of, it's almost like a commitment to being a type of person that they consider they would want to invest in. So it's almost like they want to shake hands on the fact that, you know what, I'm really interested in you, Cancer, but this is how I want things, and unless it comes in this form, I'm not willing to invest. So it doesn't allow for the the connection to unfold organically, or it doesn't allow for you to both grow into the connection or let the connection form its own identity. What it does, it has these boundaries in place, and I feel because of this, you've considered maybe it's time for you to step away, to disengage, because you weren't able to be yourself. You weren't able to express what your needs were. It was always their way or no way, right? Or because you stepped up and because you stood up for yourself and what your needs are, they were not willing to compromise. They were not willing to bend. Very inflexible. That's a type of energy that I'm getting. This is the type of people, this is a group of you I'm connecting with, I should say. So let's break this down now and see what this is about. I want to know what is their deal, when it comes to you? How are they feeling and what are they thinking, and all that kind of stuff. I do feel, Cancer, that there's disappointment on both ends as to the way this ended. And I am getting that this person is... basically, they're using these boundaries and being the way they are as a way of protecting themselves. They really don't want to be vulnerable, and as disappointing as they are, they're not willing to bend on that. Okay. So another thing that I'm getting for you when it comes to this person is, you know, I'm hearing and I'm getting the feeling that it's one of those conversations that they play in their mind of, you know what, I have had to build myself from the ground up. Maybe they've had major financial losses previously due to failed relationships. Maybe they've had deep emotional trauma and loss based on allowing themselves to be vulnerable. And they finally feel that, you know, they've really changed who they are and how they view love and how they view relationships. These losses that I'm talking about happened on a really, really cool level that changed who they were. And so now they've formed this really tough exterior as a way of survival. You know, they've managed in what looks like barren land to sow a seed and nurture it into creation. Basically, that's what it seems like. So let's break this down and see, yes, they've worked really hard on that. They've worked really hard on building themselves up, and they are very protective. They're paranoid. They feel like, you know, they feel like someone that you're out to get them, and it's not just you, it's everyone. So if you feel, Cancer, that there is some kind of injustice here, that they haven't treated you with kindness, or they haven't allowed for that emotional bond or connection to build, or they haven't allowed for it to grow, and it was limited. It's because they are limited. They're very worried. They've been through a lot. They've worked really hard. They've put a lot of actions in place to rebuild themselves. And even though, Cancer, they may come across as actually being very well put together, very controlled, and this might be something that you admire about them. In actual fact, it's just a way of them protecting themselves. They've numbed themselves and they've disconnected. They're really needing to soften around the edges. And as soon as I say that, I feel that you really did bring this softness to their life. You brought this beautiful kindness and this nurturing, this loving, this comfort. They're craving it, but they're too afraid to accept it. So what they're actually attracted to is what they're not willing to give. Isn't that always the way? They're attracted to the qualities within you. They're not able to reciprocate because it's an aspect of themselves that they're still healing. And yet, even though these are the qualities that you possess that most attract them to you, that they're craving on a human level, they are the things they point out they're not able to provide you with. They don't want you getting too comfortable. They don't want you getting too close. You know, they're keeping you at arm's length. It doesn't feel right. Yet it's almost like this tug of war. I want it, but only as far as I want it. And then when it becomes too much, they pull their energy back. So that's the type of thing that I'm getting here. This is a type of person that really wants a connection with someone, but they don't want to build the emotional connection. They want to be able to collaborate in building like a great future where it works well, the dynamics work well, but not necessarily one that is focused from an emotional point of view, more of a mental, a companionship type of a connection that allows for tangible growth, financially, let's say, where you guys can collaborate and create, but not necessarily be madly in love. This person's definitely needing to go through some healing. And the other thing I'm getting for you, Cancer, is that, you know what? If you've disengaged from this person because they weren't able to be vulnerable, yet you felt like you were constantly exposed and they were constantly pointing out your vulnerabilities, know that these are the aspects that they struggle with the most and that they're most attracted to you for. And even though you may have felt that a lot of discomfort based on the way they treated you surrounding those qualities, they're the things they miss the most. And if you stood up for yourself and you walked away because they weren't able to give you what you wanted because they were so inflexible, I am telling you right now that they truly miss you. And this distance that has been created has actually allowed them to see that they need to soften, that there is an area that still needs to be healed. And it's this time away from you that has made them realize just how loving and nurturing and caring you are and how much they lacked that previously. And it was almost like you really nourished them with it. And I feel that they're coming towards you. It's almost like a moth to a flame. They can't stay away from you, and they will come towards you because they really are interested in building a future. They just need time. That's what it feels like. They need time to soften, and they need time to come to terms with the areas of themselves that they still need healing in. And it's only through your connection together that they're able to actually see what those areas are, because you cause them to feel triggered, and only then do they realize that they're blocked in those certain areas. This is actually quite a beautiful reading for you, Cancer. I feel like this is a person that has good intentions. They just don't know how to navigate through this at the moment. They're learning as they get to know you. Very beautiful. So to wrap this up, I'm going to pull out a card and see what Spirit's message is for you on this. You know, this distance that I feel that has been created could be temporary. It could just be that you've pulled back your energy. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're not talking. It could mean that you're not talking as well. But I don't feel that any real harsh words were said. I think that it has more of a feeling of a few words were said, and the silence kind of, it was palpable. The undertone was communicated, if that makes sense. Sorry, too many cards. I just want one card for Cancer. What have we got for Cancer? What have we got for Cancer? Just one card. Okay, let's see. Do we have a card for Cancer? That's too many. Do we have a card for Cancer? Just one. Just one. Do we have one card? Yes, we do. The one that fell on the ground. Okay. Love the people in your life with your eyes open. Let them know that they do not need to be perfect to have your love. Wow. Okay. So what I get from this message and the energy that I'm feeling for you, Cancer, is that this person does not want to come across as vulnerable. They do not want to show their weaknesses. They do not want to let down their guard right now. There is a lot of push and pull. They're having this inner war at the moment. And they don't believe that if they're vulnerable and they allow themselves to feel and they allow themselves to connect, that, you know, you may not take advantage of them. Like I said, this person's feeling paranoid. Maybe a message that I'm getting for you here, if this is something that you'd like to do, you'd like to further build this connection, pointing out those times of vulnerability, because you will feel them pulling away their energy. You'll feel the energy change its tone, right? Change the feeling when you're in their presence and you've triggered them, and normally start to pull back, you may allow that. You may not lean in when they lean back, right? You could definitely communicate to them how their vulnerability is a place of strength, and then you can lean back so that it allows them the space that they need to process what's just been said. All right, guys, I hope you found that helpful. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you for your next lot of readings. Bye.